offend some people to say this, but I'm not here to offend anybody. I'm here to just say what I think is really happening in our country. And I believe in our country that the more libertarian and conservative blend that you can put together in a mix, the better off you're going to be as a nation. And we want to be free. At the same time, we want to also have minor guidelines to help us maintain some sort of sanity and morality. Total freedom means we're all running amok. But so we need some guidelines. But it's like that scale where it's totally free or totally enslaved. Well, this is totally free. We want to be right about here somewhere. Right now we're about here somewhere. That's not good. Worked my parents' pizzeria all through high school. Moved furniture on the side, so it was constant working. Delayed enlistment when I was a junior. I was a senior. I was a senior in high school. I went into delayed enlistment while a senior. Just when I turned around 17. I was 16 or 17. I forgot what it was. And then left high school right into the military, the United States Air Force. Became a B-52 gunner. Stayed there for 4 years. Had the time of my life. Enjoyed it. Felt like I was accomplishing something that was for a greater good. I kind of feel a little bit bad about the military today as opposed to what we were in. Maybe I'm delusional then, but it seemed like we had more of a purpose back then. It seems like today we're more of a political pawn, our military, which I support, the military 100%. And they're all brothers, whether you're in or you're active duty or you're retired or whatever you are, you're still brothers. Anybody who's ever served in the military. It's just that, we used to go into war and fight to win. Now we go into war and fight to politically accomplish a political goal instead of winning. Everything we ever go into in our military, we can wipe out immediately. But our government won't let us, and it costs us lives and has our boys and girls maimed, which is wrong. When I got out of the military, I didn't know what to do. 21 years old, started working at my parents' pizzeria again, decided to go into horse racing. Went with a great guy, Eldon Turcotte, up in Canada. He taught me everything there was to know about the standardbred racing job, or whatever you want to call it, or sport. Became a driver, owner, trainer. When I left that at the top of my game, because there was no money in it, I saw how the government was raking the local sportsmen in the Buffalo, New York area so that they couldn't make any money anymore. It destroyed the sport. Went into thoroughbreds, which is still alive barely. Trained and owned some horses there. Again, another fantastic profession. But it's very difficult to make that sport work because of the corruption on the government level. If they would allow the sport to grow the way it should grow, there'd be a lot of people still heavily involved in thoroughbred horse racing, and it'd be bigger than it ever was. You see, poker, they took poker from something that nobody played anymore, and now they made it big because of television and reality TV and stuff. What they did in horse racing was the government saw money in it, decided to legalize gambling and have OTB, off-track betting and stuff, then mismanaged it so much and took the money, put it in the wrong places, that they're breaking the industry. When they should allow the industry to govern itself and keep the government out of it, it'd be thriving again. That's the problems we're having there. But left the horse racing industry, went to Niagara Falls, had a couple little nightclubs and ran for a while. Worked with hypnosis my whole life since I was a kid. Decided I was going to actually take hypnosis to another level and open up an office in Buffalo. Now we're one of the best in the world. One of the most successful in the country. And the United States has pretty much the best of everything, so we're one of the most successful in the country. We're one of the most successful on the planet. Full staff, helping people every day, change their lives in a positive way. Kind of like throw away the mask of the wool that's over our eyes and let us see what's happening out there so we can make changes to make our lives better. Whether it's losing weight or quitting smoking or reducing stress, whatever we do is there to help improve a person's quality of life so that as they get older and grow through life, they're happier, more content. We actually attach a school to the hypnosis business. So people that want to learn how to do this can do it, come to us. We also do business consulting, where I'll go in and help someone open up a practice, whether it's a hypnosis practice or chiropractic or urgent care or doctors.
Do you go across the country?
Yes. And so I'll go
How can people contact you?
Oh, it's simple, buffalohypnosis.com. It's easy to find me, buffalohypnosis.com. The nice thing about it is we've taken a formula and it works cross industry. So it doesn't matter if you're a hypnotist or you're a social worker or if you're running a flower shop. With the right business consulting, you can actually grow your business so much better even in this tough economy. It's just there's certain steps you must take, and if you don't take those steps, it's like a formula to everything. Follow the rules, follow the formula, you do just fine. Vary from those rules or formula, or let your own personality get involved. Remember, we got to kill the ego. It's not about us. It's about our clients or our customers. Everybody's favorite subject is themselves. Okay? So if it's about us, we can't help anybody. For our show, it's good. We have about 10,000 listeners or so. And we get them calling in from all over the area, plus Toronto, and even above Toronto, because the station reaches them. The problem is that we're on at 5:30 in the morning on Saturday mornings. We can't get a better time slot no matter what we do. It's been requested and denied. Taped recordings of past shows of somebody else's will go on before we're allowed a better time slot. Yet, we have the police force, the firefighters, the shift workers. We're number one in the city of Buffalo at 5:30 in the morning on Saturday mornings. People are listening to our show. Tons of letters, phone calls saying, hey, I set my alarm. I would never get up at 5:30 in the morning Saturday morning. It's one day to sleep in. My wife and I set our alarm clock to 5:30 so we can listen to your show. And then we go back to sleep at 6. So I take each day as it comes. I'd love to be in politics somewhere and make a difference in Congress or the Senate. But I find that no matter which side you go to, it's not good. It's a Hegelian conspiracy. I think you know that. We have two sides. You're creating the illusion of two sides. When in actuality, it's just one side. And we're the other side. So it's difficult to break in. I remember going in under the Conservative Party just for a local office. They told me I was too far right. How could you be too far right? You can't be. Well, this nation was founded as perfect as you can found a nation. As beautiful as it's almost impossible to build a better mousetrap. Yet we have people picking it apart, trying to build better mousetraps by focusing on details that are irrelevant, by allowing tolerance to destroy us just the way it destroyed Rome. Doing things that make a nation like us commit suicide. See, nations like ours cannot be defeated. It can only commit suicide. It can only rot from the inside out. It can only have what's known as good intentions be taken to destroy us. And that's what's happening right now. Once we elected a president who was half white and half black, who decided he wanted to use the race card to promote his own agenda, and his constituents thought, hey, this is a great way to go. And then there are people that make so much money by promoting race relations being in turmoil. We have it go backwards, like we're back in the 60s. It's horrible. When you look at how the propaganda and the media has manipulated the minds of Americans for the past decade or so. I mean, of course it's happened before then, but they perfected it. It's an art, it's a science now. There is no journalism left. And unless you can actually cut through the proverbial crap that's out there, you'll get tied up in it. Follow the money. Follow the agenda. Who has an agenda, who doesn't? Well, everybody has an agenda. Let's put it this way. Who has an agenda that's full of malice, and who has an agenda that's full of goodness? Look for it. It's so obvious everywhere you go. Who's profiting from this? You'll know because you'll know them by their actions. They'll be saying one thing but doing something else, and they'll do it right in front of you. For instance, you hear about how bad our economy is. But yet, you'll see members in Congress and in the White House spending millions and millions of dollars frivolously as if it's pennies. They don't care. They're the ruling class now. The people should not fear the government. The government should fear the people. And that's how it should be, and that's how it's supposed to be. But here we have a people fearing the government right now, which is not a good thing. There was a movie called V for Vendetta. The thing about the movie was it was a liberal movie using false premise to label conservative movement as the bad guys. What they said was brilliant. What they said was true, except they turned the political stance. So they made what the liberals are doing today to be what the conservatives are doing, and what the conservatives are doing to be what the liberals are doing. And it shouldn't be conservative against liberal, liberal against conservative. It should be Americans standing up and fighting for their own freedom. We're so caught up in fighting each other over ideas that don't matter because we're pawns to the ruling class now. They don't know it. They just don't know. They don't have a clue.